Happy Saturday, everybody. I hope we're all doing good. I promised that I was going to tell my story on Saturday. Today is Saturday, and it's time to tell you all a part of my life, and hoping that it's a source of inspiration, encouragement for somebody today to get up, pick yourself up, dust the dust off your backside, and get on moving with this life. Because whether you like it or not, you're here. You might as well make it count for something. Hello, Sister Loretta. I hope you're doing good. Who else is here? And once you get here, I want to see those love hearts popping. That's what gives me the energy to keep talking. So if you love me and you know it, can I have some love hearts, please? The love hearts popping up my screen. Oh yes, I love those so much. No blues, just the red love hearts, and keep them coming. Thank you so much. And I know that I have an engaged audience to speak to today. You know, in this life, we go through so many different things. And sometimes when we're going through those different things, we don't understand. We wish they would never happen. We wish that, our life would just be smooth sailing and we'll just catch the good breaks all of the time. But I have learned in my own personal experience, or through my own personal experiences, that sometimes your worst tragedy can also become the starting point. Hello, Sister Dorcas. How are you doing? Your worst tragedy, your worst nightmare can also become the starting point where your God, your higher source, also uses that same pain point as the beginning of your blessing for your life. And so don't knock the painful situations that you go through, because it's all a part of the process. I used to live in England. I was born and part bred in England. And then I came to visit fantastic Calgary, Canada, and decided that I wanted to make Canada my new home. I moved to Canada, but all the fantastic dreams and how I perceived it to be wasn't what I met when I actually came into Canada. I was fortunate. I had family. I got a few friends, or I made a few friends that held me. But there was still a deep pain that had been brewing inside of me for many years that I hadn't dealt with. So I got the opportunity to go to hospital because, as a lot of you may or may not know, I have or suffer from polycystic ovarian syndrome. It's a fertility condition that a lot of women increasingly are suffering from. And we'll talk about that and what it does on a whole separate video one of these days. But this polycystic ovaries has been an issue that I've struggled with in my life as an illness for 31 years. It's been painful. There have been lots of tears. Lots of money has been spent trying to get it better. And it's now just become something that is being managed. Now, at the point of having this PCOS and struggling with it, I still held on to hope that when I came to Canada, this is going to be the place where the miracle is made. I went to hospital. I had a lot of tests done, lots of scans done. And the outcome of that was that I had to have surgery. Okay, 2019, I went in and I had this surgery and started to recuperate. But out of this surgery, I was told that it should potentially bring me new hope with this whole quest of wanting to be a mom, biologically being able to have a child of my own, which has been something, my dream, something that I've always wanted for my own self. I had this surgery. We went through Christmas and then got into 2020. It was 2020 and the 16th of January that my whole life came crashing down, because I go for my follow-up appointment only to find, we're sorry, girl, but ain't nothing we can do about this situation of yours. You wouldn't be able to have children. That was the most horrific thing that I could imagine at that time. I cried so many tears I have never cried before. I questioned my faith. I asked whether there was even a God at all. Why is it that I have to endure so much pain for many years? And just this little glimmer of hope that I thought that I could get, that the door also becomes shut to me. As you all know, not many weeks after that, the whole country, the whole world shut their doors to people coming in and people going out. I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't see my nearest and dearest. My parents were a million miles away. My siblings were a million miles away. And I felt like this can't be worse than hell itself. I was living alone, cooped up in my room. There were family members all around, but it's not the same. You know, sometimes you can go through a particular pain point, and even though you have people that care about you, that live all around you, they can't touch that pain. Like, they can't help you in that pain. So yes, there were people all around me, but I felt so alone and by myself. It hurt. I cried so much. Some days I didn't even want to be here anymore. And it took me 6 months to actually realize that I was actually depressed. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to see anybody. I just wanted to be left alone, forgotten about. If I'm not here anymore, I don't care. My siblings tried the best they could. The parents did the best they could, but it just wasn't doing anything. It hurt. It was so, so painful. And then after about 6 months, I took myself into hospital and said, something is not right. And I was referred to have therapy to deal with this grief that I was feeling. Not being able to have children and the experience that I have personally been through. It feels like you've lost something and you're mourning the loss of that thing. So if there's anybody who's lost something dear to them, a husband, a child especially, I understand where you're at, because it stings and it hurts like crazy. It was painful. And I thank God that I can tell the story today and not shed a tear. It's emotional, but the pain that I felt back then was unimaginable. There were days when I just couldn't see how I was going to wake up the next day. Look, if you're not in that zone, you won't understand. But for me, that's how it felt. I just didn't have any zeal for life anymore. And then on top of that, because of the whole COVID situation, there were no jobs forthcoming. So I was unemployed on top of that too. There was like, there's no purpose, there's no reason, there's no meaning to this life of mine. What does it care? Who cares? Like, if I'm not here anymore, who's going to miss me, right? And this is all depression speaking. I was thinking about different ways to not be here anymore. I researched on how to not be here anymore. I tell you, like, I went in the deep, darkest dumps of depression. And it just all rolled in very quickly. I didn't really see the point. Like, if I'm not here, who cares? My parents will cry for 5 days. You know, I've got 3 other siblings. They can make their do with those. That's fine. In my mind, it stung like a bee and it hurt. And apart from all the issues that I'm telling you about, I was still also having to manage the symptoms that I was dealing with. Oh, it was horrific. I don't wish it on my worst enemy. So I started therapy. And every time my therapist and I would get together, it was, online. As soon as we log on, opening my mouth was just an ocean of tears, like just crying all of the time. I could barely get words out of my mouth. And she was helpless. Like, what am I going to do for this girl to realize that part of her life sucks? Yes, but that good things can still come from the most horrific of places in your life. One day, she talked a lot, but the only thing that I heard in all that she said was that I needed to find something that I love to do that's going to channel all this pent-up energy, anguish, frustration, pain, tears, anger, name it, to that thing and help me to get better. I thought about different things. What can I do? Like, what am I going to do? Who cares? Like, I'm telling you, I don't want to be here anymore. You're telling me to go find something that's going to, that's going to help me get better. But I'll go to bed at night and I'll be pondering and thinking about the things that this woman was telling me about. And that word of finding something. I had quietly been on social media for a very long time. And I had seen the amazing things that other content creators were doing. And it seemed appealing. But at the same time, it's a huge maze. And I don't really know, or I didn't really know at that time, what my position would be. I didn't just want to be here and get lost in all the fluff and chuff that's on here as well. I wanted to be impactful. And I wanted to make an impact and be seen making that impact on social media. And so I found a sister. I'd known her for years. We had gone to the same school, high school. But then our paths didn't cross again until I found her again on social media, on Facebook to be precise. If you know who Amma Manson is, go follow her page, subscribe, and, tag Amma on this video. So Amma Manson and I had a conversation. I said, Amma, I've been watching you. You do all these fantastic content, teaching people different things on social media. I know it's a huge space. I see lots of people doing different things. I don't want to get lost. I don't want to be part of the fluff. I actually want to make impact and positive impact in humans' lives. So how am I going to do this? Yeah, Amma became my coach, a mentor on social media. On the 9th of August, 2020, Sika Educates, this platform that we're here enjoying ourselves at today. That's when this social media page was born. I would record videos and nobody would watch them. My heart was breaking because this is not what I signed up for. I want to be impactful. I want to help and nobody's watching my videos. I cried so many more tears. But slowly and gradually, I realized that when I went for therapy, I wasn't crying as much anymore. My focus, my mindset had changed. There was a shift that had happened without me even realizing it. Little by little, by the ones and the twos, the 5s and the 10 views. One day, after crying for so many months, there were 10,000 people on Sika Educates. People were following, people were sharing, people were finally commenting, but it took time. And those times that it took was so painful, agonizing, but it was happening. Behind the scenes, the heavens were putting everything together. Our time is not the Lord's time. Things happen when they are meant to happen. you can push it, you can force it, you can do anything that you want. But in his time, he makes all things beautiful. So 10,000 followers. Okay, now what? Still carried on grinding, putting one video up after the other, recording videos, posting them, liking, sharing, inviting guests. There were so many awesome content creators that I also met through Amamansi. Some of the sisters and their love was overwhelming. They would come, we would talk, we would gist, they would share their insights and their thoughts. There's so many people. And maybe one day we shall talk about all of that in much greater detail. I also had a friend that I had grown up with who had also had her own platform for a number of years. And when she was growing hers, I would come on every so often and would have a conversation, chit chat. And so she returned that favor. She was also here. She's called Adama. Her page is My Sister to Sister, also on Facebook. One of the few people that I had known from my infancy that stood when I needed somebody to stand by my side. I met sisters on this journey that I've never set eyes on, and I still haven't set eyes on a lot of them. But the love that they showed me was overwhelming. A lot. The people that commented and shared the videos. The people that just love you for just loving you's sake. And yet, people that you have known for years, even eating from the same plate with, they abandon you in your most precious time of need. I'm saying this to you to understand that the fact that you have people in your life doesn't mean that these people have to start life and finish life with you. People write certain chapters of the story of your life. And when the time is come for you to let them go, there should be no pain. Just understand that their part to play in your story has finished, and it's time for them to jog on. Embrace that. Open up yourself for new people to come into your life. I didn't understand that before, but I learned over time to just let people go. A relationship is finished. Let them go. So there was Awomrikua from Lunchtime Talks. There was Adjo Odomensa with her show. There was so many people that came. Pastor Patience would like and comment and cheer me on. My sister Aisha Ankara was there, constantly sharing videos. Like, there's so many people. I'm trying so hard. Because if you don't name names, some people may take that to mean that you've forgotten about them, but I love them all in the core of my soul. I had a cousin, my father's sister's son, who was much, much older than me. Luckily for me, he lived in the same city that I moved to. And this brother of mine would come for every appointment, help me get medications when I was unemployed. I had an uncle who gave me a roof over my head and made sure I never went to bed hungry. He fed me and he took care of me whilst I was here. There's a sister that I do videos with every Sunday. Ekuamwa. She didn't know me from Adam. But as soon as she heard that there was this woman in town and she came from England, blah, blah, blah. She was there. She would pick me up. We'll go out. Just to help me keep my head above water. There's so many people. I can't name them all. but there'll be a time to appreciate and acknowledge every single one of them. It's coming. Slowly but surely, my therapy came to an end. And at the end of the therapy, I found that I had found a new strength in this painful situation to be on social media and to be impactful and to help people understand life in general and to educate people about the realities of different aspects of life. Today, there's 63,000 and some on this same Facebook page that started on the 9th of August of 2020 with 0 views. I am just amazed at what God has done in this 3 and a bit years. Sister Sarah, how are you doing? It's been so awesome. It's been beautiful. It's been amazing. I can't tell it all today, but I'm just so thankful that through that painful process, that painful experience, you can't have children. This is where we are today. Like, when I think about where I was and the things that were going through my mind at that time, not wanting to even be alive anymore, can you imagine that 3 years later, that there'll be a platform with all you amazing people. You guys fill me with so much love. You can't imagine it. Like when I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to just come on live and just see all my social media family. People from far and wide. When I watch back all of these videos, because I do, every time I put content out there, I go back and watch it and I try to respond to as many messages as I can. I'm only one person with 10 fingers. So if I haven't responded to something of yours, please forgive me. I'm a one-man band right now. But I would read comments and they really hit my heart because, oh, I'm watching you from Kampala. I'm watching you from wherever, Jamaica. And I'm like, who am I? Who am I? Like, I'm just this little girl that comes from a village that doesn't even show up on a map. Like, who am I? My parents are West African. Like, who am I to deserve all of this, right? But this is where we are now. And I know it's only going to get bigger. Because this is what I love to do. And this is what I have been called to do. Why have I told you this whole story today? Because I don't know what you're going through in your life. You got married with the best of intentions and your husband has left. Your wife has left. Oh, Sister Dorcas, I love you so much too. I haven't seen you before. I can't wait to meet. Like, I actually want to meet some of you in the flesh to thank you properly. And through all of that experience, I have learned that sometimes God allows difficult situations to come into your life. And through those difficult situations, He shows Himself strong. You're in this marriage and it's not working out. Your husband, your wife is treating you in a horrific kind of way. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's going to happen. He, she is cheating, seeing somebody else, breaking your heart on a daily basis, and you think your world has ended because this is not what you signed up for. Or maybe, like me, you want to be married and you've tried so hard and you're still single. You want to have children. You're married. You want to have children. There are no children that are forthcoming. Maybe your time has even passed. You've hit menopause and you're not going to be able to have children. Your husband left you because you can't have children. People are laughing at you because you can't have children. You're looking for work and you can't find anything. You're so highly educated, but nothing is working out for you. You try so hard, but ain't nothing happening for you. You're not educated, but everything you've tried to start doesn't seem to go anywhere. My business is not picking up. People are not buying my stuff. I have tried so hard, and it's not working out for you. I know what your situation is. Some people may even be going through all of these things that I've talked about, one person. And mind you, this is just a part of my life story. Eh? There's a whole story. But at the appropriate time, it will all come out. It's been a journey. I can promise you that it has been a journey. But in all of it, I thank God that I'm still counted amongst the living. And with life, my darling, there is hope. I've had 17 incisions on some part of my body in my lifetime. I'm still alive. I've fought so many battles with my health and other things. I'm still here. The cancer, the arthritis, let's not go there. But I'm still here. In this life, there's always two choices. Fight to live or give up and perish. Those are your choices. Give up and perish seems very easy. And on the face of it, when you're going through the most painful parts of your life, give up and perish is the easiest route to go because you don't have to do anything. But survive and keep fighting. That's where all the magic is. That's where all the miracles happen. Because you're saying to everything that is happening, that is contrary to what you want, that I'm not going to be beat down by this circumstance. I am not taking no for an answer. That's what you're saying. And so you put one foot in front of the other and keep on fighting. Apart from being childless, there came a time in my life prior to moving to Canada when my legs were not functioning. And so sitting in a wheelchair with a commode was my life. It was in the 3rd decade of my life. And I wondered, what is this? This is just going to be the end of me. I can't do this anymore. But I'm still here. The people that I loved and spent time with and hung out with and loved with every part of my soul, they all abandoned me at that time. Many people thought I was a nuisance because I called them to come help me. I was incapable of doing anything. But I'm still here. And it's amazing how when you make that decision to keep fighting and stay alive, how the heavens just organize everything. Total strangers will come to your aid when the people that you knew and loved so much, the people that come to your house and eat from the same bowl with you, they would all leave you when the going gets tough. I promise you that. And I had people, atheists, yeah, imams. We don't have the same faith. But there was an imam, this guy. He was a taxi driver. And he just saw me and just felt compassionate. And this man picked me up and he burst out crying. I said, "What's the matter with you?" He said, "I have 3 daughters. And I don't want any of them to be in this position of yours." I couldn't see what the point of crying was, but he was crying for me. And it's been over a decade. And he's now part of my family. Like, my parents know him. Everybody knows him. Because of that act of kindness. Honey, I need you to understand that when you're going through the dumps, it's not the people that you know who are going to be there for you. Understand that. I need you to get that in here. Because when you go into life with so much expectations of other people, they will disappoint you big time. And in those days, total strangers came to my aid. None of my church members came to see me, apart from the pastor and one person. They took it up as if it was their own issue, and they were there. They would make sure you've eaten. They will make sure you're warm. You're not cold in the winter months. Sister Dorcas, God bless you. Bad things happen to good people. But the fact that bad things happen does not mean that has to be the end of your journey. I have learned so much in this life and been through so many different experiences. Today, this is the part of the experience that I want to share. There are other experiences, and as I said, they will come in its own time. But today, I'm just here to inspire somebody. I know who you are. Oh, Sister Dorcas, God bless you, sweetheart. I don't know who you are today. But whoever you are, I just want you to understand this. The difficulties that you're going through in your life is meant to teach you something that you need to learn about life. We all go through stuff in our lives, pleasant and unpleasant alike. I have come to a place of acceptance of my situation. I can't have children. I can't. I have accepted that because God knows what He's doing with that situation. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to force it. I have just come to a place of acceptance that He knows what He's doing. Who knows what will happen in the future? I don't know. But today, I'm not sitting here thinking, so what is He going to do? I can't have children. I can't have children. I have made my peace with that. I have 3 younger siblings, sisters, and they all have children. 5 of them, between the 3 of them. 3 nieces, 2 nephews. I love the socks off of all of them. And to me, that's children enough for our family. I thank God for my parents. I thank God for every single one of you that are watching this video today. You inspire me so much. You motivate me so much to keep doing what I'm doing. And it's proof to me that this is where I need to be. And this is what I need to do. This is my calling. This is what I need to do. There's so many people that write to me, emails, private messages. Oh, sweetheart, you have said everything that I haven't been able to say for myself. Not being able to have a child in Africa is one of the hardest things that you can go through. I've had my fair share. Yeah. It's why I keep off family. I don't, like, as soon as I know what your mindset is, I stay away from you. Yeah. Horrible things people will say to you because you can't have children. And I'm here to debunk that whole mindset that if you can't have children, somehow you're less than, you're not enough, you shouldn't take space, you can't share an opinion, you can't comment because you can't have children. That doesn't wash with me. Having a child doesn't make, not being able to have a child doesn't make me any less of a human being. I thank God for the people that brought me to this planet Earth. I don't know how I would have made it without those two people. My parents, Jerome and Patricia, they have been through hell and back with this daughter they call me. A lot has happened. 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 5, 2, 17 operations. And I'm still here. I'm still alive. Yeah, very much so. So my darling, I know what you're going through. Marriage, home, kids, no kids, work, no work, illnesses that you're managing. And it seems like the door has closed. Like you're just going through this valley of the shadow of death and nothing good is happening to your life. You're not catching any good breaks. Sweetheart, I need you to understand one thing. The bigger the test, the much bigger your testimony is going to be. The people that are able to speak with authenticity, with power, like words that carry energy, are the people who have been through something. It's not theoretical. It's practical experiences. Anybody who has been through something and knows what polycystic ovaries is, and that's what we're going to talk about next Saturday, by the way. I will share my story about that, my experiences, and what has happened since then. But today, I want you to rise and say to yourself that you're not going to allow the circumstance, the situation, the problem, the trial, the tribulation to take you out or be, get the better of you. Because you're bigger than your situation. You're much better than your circumstance. Hello, my sisters Nadine, Jenny, and Mania Queen. I hope you're doing good. Life happens to the best of us. Life, it happens to the best of us. There's so many things that will crush you, try to take you out, make sure you're not here anymore. But you've got to fight and say, I refuse to allow this situation to be the end of my story. It's hard. It is hard. It's hard. I'm not going to lie here or sit and tell you no fairy tales. It's hard. But if you learn to take the bulls by the horns and keep on going, you will never ever be disappointed. There was a time in my life when all that I had to my name and my bank account, because I had been unemployed for over 2 years, £1.28. I'll never forget it. It was difficult. It hurt. I cried. Yeah. But all of those experiences are why I'm sat here today. I had to have them to be able to speak to somebody today. because I know how it felt. I know what happens, and I know how difficult life can be. But in spite of all of that, he still hasn't forgotten, like you're still here. Many people are 6 foot under with dreams, aspirations, books, businesses, and so much talent that they could have blessed the world with. But they are sleeping in the cemetery, in their graves, and you are still here. What really is that thing that is so horrible that you can't pick yourself up, and you've chosen the give up and perish route because it's simple? Doesn't involve having to, exert yourself in any way, shape, or form. Today, maybe you're listening to me and alcohol has become your best buddy because that's your coping mechanism. But without the alcohol, you can't do anything. And the alcohol has consumed you so much. You wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror and you don't like what you see. Maybe for you, it's painkillers or worse to numb the pain, because it's easier to numb and forget about the pain than to face the pain and deal with it. But my lovely, the pain only leaves when you ask it to and tell it to get out of your life. And you work your way every day, telling it to get out of the way. Trying to mask it with anything, alcohol, drugs, giving yourself up to all kinds of men or women just to mask a pain. It's not the answer, darling. It's not. The only thing that really works is that quest of yours, that determination mindset of yours that, hey, no matter what happens, I am fighting and I'm winning. Therapy and coaching helped me a lot. I couldn't have done it on my own. Coaching and therapy, it helped me a lot on that journey. It is good to have people that you can trust with objective opinions that are going to help you to squeeze all the pus out of those blisters that have covered your life, so that you can finally find relief and move on with your life. It's not going to be easy, honey. It's not. It's a lot of work. I've invested so much in my own self so that I can be a much better seasoned person that can serve all of you. How much do you love yourself? And how much do you believe that you deserve to be here? A lot of us are alive, but we don't think that we deserve to even be here. So we're just living the life any type of way. But if you deserve it, if you feel that you actually need to be here and take up space, honey, you will treat yourself better. So counseling, it helped me a lot. I found coaches along my journey that have helped me refigure and construct my mindset and my thinking, and shift it from thinking about all the worst nightmares of this life to all the miracles that still lay ahead of me. By this same grace of God, I have a job today. That same person that was downtrodden, that everybody thought, oh, this is going to take this girl out. You know, your enemies are so happy. Yay! Finally, Seeker's going to be taken out. Yeah. Sometimes people hate on you because they can never be you. And you need to understand that too. They don't have the unction to function, the energy, the vibe, the power, and the authenticity that you carry. And so people will hate on that. Sometimes people come into you haven't even said a word, but your presence, your guts, it just annoys them so much. But honey, no matter what it is, you just need to keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep on going. Recognizing that there's a plan and a purpose for your life. Maybe you haven't figured out why you're here. It's why you can't take space and be impactful. Because you don't know, why am I here? What is my life all about? You haven't figured that out. And so because of that, you're the way you are. But honey, you've got to believe that you matter that much. And it's important that you're here. And you're here because there's a purpose for you to fulfill in this life. Don't allow that marriage that is failing, that husband, that wife that is cheating on you and making you so upset, be what takes you out. When you lie around and seem bothered by what other people have chosen to do, it makes some people happy, you know. But when you understand that as an individual, you, as a person, me, seeker, that I have a purpose and a destiny to fulfill, that has nothing to do with my spouse or anybody else that's a thorn in my flesh. You rise up with a whole different attitude and approach to life. You focus on the things that you have control over, which is yourself. And you don't allow all the noise and fluff and mess that is around you to consume you. So I don't know who I'm speaking to today, but I know it's somebody. I don't just speak. I'm asked to speak, and I speak. And I'm telling you, no matter what your circumstances, there's still light at the end of the tunnel. In your situation, the heavens put you at a T-junction, and you're in the bottom part of the T. If you turn left, you're going into your destiny. But there are bumps and potholes and stones and valleys and mountains and people that are going to hate on you on that road. When you turn right from a few yards away, all you can see is gold and happiness and people drinking and partying and dancing. But as soon as you go past that, oh man, you would wish you had chosen the thorny road. Because at the end of that journey, it's everlasting bliss. We all go through stuff, darling. Different kinds of experiences. And my experience today may be infinitesimal, like tiny. Insignificant to what you're experiencing. Because your thorns are all over your body. And you don't know what to do with it. But honey, understand that in the midst of all of that, you can still find your true purpose and turn a messy situation into your own miracle for your life. Don't allow anybody to make you feel down on yourself, doubt yourself, think that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you deserve what is happening to you, because that is a lie from the pit of hell. You can still turn your mourning into dancing. It's all dependent on the choice that you're making. Am I going left or am I going right? Choose wisely, like I did. And today, I thank God for everything that happens in my life. When people walk out, I dance like I'm crazy. And now, this whole thing about being childless has become a source of strength for me to encourage somebody today. I had to go through it to experience it, to understand it, so that when I'm talking to a fellow sister who is suffering with that same thing, they can know that I know what I'm saying. And for what I'm saying to them, to carry some weight about it, so that they can endure and do what they need to do. I hope that this story is going to encourage you this morning. Maybe you're lying somewhere and there's just no zeal to do anything. It's time to rise, honey. It's time for you to get up your backside and make your time here count for something. No matter how small you think it is. If it's even one person that your life has impacted, that is one person that will never forget you. One person that will never forget you. So rise up and make your life count for something. You are not defined by your circumstance. You are you. Rise up and do something with your life. Be happy to invest in yourself. Coaching, therapy, speaking to people that can help you is what got me out of the rut that I find myself in back then. And I'm here to help anybody who wants to be helped and who wants to move on with their life with my own experiences. If you want to get that help, I will put a link in the comment section of this video when we're done. Just book a place and come and talk. And let's figure out how you're going to get on with your life, what you need to do. Where do you even begin from? And let's move you from that left side of things, that right side of things, to the other side, which may be filled with stones and potholes initially. But trust me, when you get to the other side, you will thank me and yourself for making that choice. I love you so much. Maybe you came late, you didn't catch this whole thing. Go back and watch this video. And if it has resonated with you, I plead with you to share the video. Because in the core of my being, I feel like there's so many people that need to hear this today. Please share this video. It doesn't cost you anything. You just press the share button and share it on your own personal profile page even. There might be other platforms that people need to, go to. Share it on those platforms for me, please. So that somebody can lift up their head and realize that as long as the sun shines and sets, there is hope for the future. And you need to keep going. I love you so much. My brothers and my sisters, I really, truly do. And I hope that this is a message for somebody. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend. I have a story to share. And in a few hours, I will come back and share that story. God richly bless every single one of you. Sister Primrose, Khadija too, Rose. I don't know what to say about all of you. I just love you so much. Thank you. That because of your love, your hearts, your sharing, your commenting, your stars, your follows, I found purpose again. I wake up every day and I say to myself, well, I've got a social media family. 63,000 people across the globe watching an insignificant girl from a village that doesn't even show up on most maps and show up to listen to me. That has got to be a blessing and a miracle in itself. If you knew where I started from and where I am today, it can be nothing short of a miracle. I love you. God bless you. Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, you're not my friend, you know. Please, I will share the link to that on this video as well. Have a lovely time. Hello, Edith. It's so good to see you, honey. If you haven't heard the whole story, you need to go back and replay this. God bless you. Thank you so much for loving me. And I love you right back. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.